Welcome to another episode of the Allure Salon and Spa Podcast. I'm Charlotte Allen. I'm co-owner with my husband, Derek Allen. And today I'm joined with the Allure family. And I'll start from this side. We have Miss Melania Holloway.
Hello.
LaKanya Richardson.
Hi.
Miss Kay Walden.
Hello.
Cassandra James.
Hi.
And Miss Stephanie Scott.
Hey.
We've been doing hair lately in the past couple of years as my clients have gotten older and they're going through menopause and different things, and they're taking certain medications. I'm finding that their hair, we're having more of a conversation about thinning, hair thinning. And I would just like to bring up in discussion, are you all finding the same thing with your clients? And if so, what recommendations, what solutions have you found to help correct this problem that so many of us are dealing with?
Well, I had a client that was thinning, and we tried treatments and supplements and everything, but come to find out it was the medication that she could not, stop taking. It was something she had to do. So it was nothing my treatments or anything could do for it because this was health reasons. So, we just work around it, create styles that, kind of veer away from the thinness so it won't look, like it's showing, really bad. So, that's basically all we could really do.
How did you come to that conclusion, what all did you go through to come to the conclusion that this is just your medication?
Because I treated it, and the treatments that are used, the good protein treatments that we use that are distributed from my distributors, it just didn't work. And, too much of something can be a bad thing. Yeah. So at that point, we just had to really dig deep and find out what the source of the problem was. So I technically had to get in her business. Okay. As far as, what are you taking? What did the doctor say? And this, and they kind of had an idea, but, they want all the help they can get, and they want to service them. So that's what I did. Yeah. So we just came to that conclusion. It was the medication.
So what do you do now? Did it just get to a certain point, or did she just keep losing hair? What did she do?
It's nothing that can be done. Not by me anyway. Because it's, like I said, it's a health issue. Yeah. So she can't stop taking blood pressure medicine, or I'm just throwing things out, or diabetic medication. Can't stop taking it. So either you can go with a protective style or something that will, give you a change if you're not feeling comfortable with the thinness or everything. Or maybe we have to keep going with how it is because you don't want to put too much tension on it. So it can go either way. It just depends on how much hair, where you're thinning, how much you're thinning. So
did that particular client have natural hair or relaxed hair?
Natural.
Okay.
So it wasn't even.
It was nothing I could. But I did try. I did want her to know that we have things that can help. But if it's something that's prohibiting what I'm using to help you, then I have to stop, and then we just have to face the reality of what it is.
Yeah.
Let me add to that, piggybacking on what Stephanie just said. There is a thing called DHT, where, and it's a long word, I can only pronounce it if I see the word, but the acronym is DHT. But what it does is it formulates on the scalp, and a lot of times I've asked clients to sort out a trichologist to have your scalp looked at through a microscope. And I actually had that done myself once, and I could actually see my hair still living underneath. Because as I've gotten older and went through menopause and all of that, my hair thinned out. And the hair is still living under there, but the DHT sits on top of the scalp. And it causes the hair to not be able to push through.
Wow.
So recently what I've done is I've sought out a particular product, which I have not actually used it yet, but I'm telling my older clients about it who are thinning, that this may be something you may want to try. And I'm not necessarily doing it to actually give it as a service per se, but to just introduce them to the product, to let them know that there may be another solution. And the product is called Recovery. And I've also used other products like Nioxin, where the client didn't stick with it long enough to see if there was going to be any results. But I have a number of older clients who is going through that situation who is interested in maybe trying the product. The only thing with the product that I've come across is that it says for early staging of thinning.
Okay.
Well, most of my clients have had this issue for a
Wow,
while.
yeah.
So that's the only problem I'm dealing with right now, you know, is that they've had it for a while.
Do you find, let me ask you a question, with even having even older clients, say after postmenopause, do you find that their hair just goes through the thinning process and then it just stays there? It doesn't get any worse, or maybe it can get better. I don't know if you've gone through gone through menopause, but are you finding that once you just get through that time period, it gets better?
I think it's a certain stage that they get to, or we get through, and then it subsides for the most. That's just my theory. I don't know that for a fact. But I feel like it's a stage, because once the hormones get to a certain point, they just kind of, it appears to be that they just kind of stop doing what they're doing, and it just quits thinning after a point. Here again, that's just my theory behind it. So,
But I think a lot of your clients, their hair looks full and healthy. You know what I'm saying? They're of a certain age and they look really full and healthy, so it's got to be something to it.
Yeah. You know, speaking of theories, do you think that it could be genetic opposed to hormonal? Because sometimes, you know, like you said, we go through menopause or whatever, but sometimes it could be just genetically your hair was going to be thinner when you got older because your mother's hair was like that or your father's hair.
yeah.
So, what do you think? Do you think?
Well, I think anything's possible. Genetics definitely can play a part in any facet of life, be it health. So yeah, I would say yeah to your question. Yeah, it can be.
So for those situations though, where have you found something else where, say, I don't know, if the person, I guess we have the medication, we have the genetics, we have the menopausal, you know, we have some people who are in their 30s and their hair is just, they're like, why is my, like we talk about stress points. Do you believe in that? Do you think that that's really a situation where just because you stress and your hair comes out in that particular spot or that section, and is there anything you can really do about it other than de-stress?
It could be an itchy spot where you're constantly pulling and scratching. That could be, you know, what a part of the stress.
Let me add to that too. A lot of clients don't know that they walk around with a fungus on their scalp.
That's true.
They don't know that. And if they're itching a lot, I tell them to go to the doctor, go see the dermatologist, because I have one particular client in mind, and she always wants me to use the medicated shampoo on her, but she comes back and she says, I'm still itching. Have you been to the doctor? You know, because I'm not a magician and I can't dove deep into your situation because I'm not medically inclined to do that. So I just insisted they go to the doctor to find out where the itch is coming from and what's causing it. And every last one has come back and said, yes, it was a fungus.
Really?
And see, that's the thing. We think about it, y'all. We are cosmetologists.
Right.
We don't deal with the scalp.
Yeah.
And either, like you said, they need to go to a doctor or a trichologist. A trichologist specialize on the scalp.
Right.
A dermatologist is more for your skin, your acne, and you know the main thing they tell you is stop getting relaxers.
Exactly. That's the first thing
So,
they tell you.
So trichologist to me would be the best answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of what we're talking about has to do with health, overall health, because a lot of this stuff comes from internal types of situations. And a lot of times when my clients ask me about supplements and things of that nature, I'll tell them anything in conjunction with good health can work, but it starts with your health first, because you can't expect to take a magic pill or use a magic product and expect these great results if health-wise you're not balanced.
That's so true.
So that's what I tell my clients. I Because I really don't want them to think that there's any one thing that I can do that can change their situation around. So I just kind of stay under the radar as far as that's concerned, because I never want anybody to think that I'm giving them medical advice because I'm not a doctor.
And to piggyback on that, I do feel that it is internal. And the first question I always ask my clients if they say, well, my locks are thinning or my hair is thinning, first thing I say is, how much water are you drinking a day? That always plays a major role in it. What's going in your body? Are you eating, you know, I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm just this health person, but are you eating green leafy foods? Are you just eating fast food every day, all day? That's a major concern.
You know, a lot of my clients that have spots or, you know, that they're concerned about, like you said, if you really dig deep, they're on medication.
Yeah.
They're on either the high blood pressure medication. A lot of my clients.
Me too.
Even low iron.
That is a great point.
Even low iron
Yes.
can make your hair thin. And it's a side effect.
Yes.
But the only way, like Cassandra said, to do that, you gotta, if you wanna get off the medicine, you gotta, like you said too, it has to start within. Either change your diet.
That is so true. That is so true. This is a great topic. I hope that you all could get some tidbits from this. We really appreciate you joining us for this episode of Allure Salon and Spas podcast, and we hope to see you next time. Take care.